Hi everyone, so welcome to Monday's lesson. This is going to be a lesson for 27th of April. As yesterday we were doing lesson chapter 11, lesson 1, which was about 3D figures and nets. Hopefully, of course, you would have understood what are 3D figures, three-dimensional figures. So for a quick review, why do we call them three-dimensional figures, or why do we call any figure as a 3D figure? Because you can view them from three things. What are the three things you can view? You can view them from the length, width, and the height. So if any of the figure is having the length, width, and the height, that's called as a 3D figure. So now you can ask anyone, why is it called 3D? And you know the answer. Okay, so also we name solid figures. Solid figure is always a 3D figure because of the three dimensions. Okay, and yesterday also we learned about how to find the net. Net means when you open up a 3D figure, when you open up a three-dimensional solid figure, how it looks like. Or definitely some of you would have experimented by opening up the packet, a box, cereal box, or a chocolate box, opening up anything and just slowly open it up and then check how does the net of the solid figure looks like. Okay, so hopefully yesterday's lesson was easier, and we know how to name the figures. Also we know how to name a solid figure. We will see the base, so the name depends on the base. If the base is triangle, the name of the solid figure starts with triangle. If the base is rectangle, the base solid figure's name starts with rectangle. Okay, now uh, after that, how do you decide? Fine, now once you know it's triangle or rectangle, next word, what are you going to complete with? Either it has to be a prism or it has to be a pyramid. So how is a pyramid? A pyramid has all sides as triangles, whereas a prism does not have all triangles, but it also has rectangles or sometimes squares also. Okay, so here this lesson, this video I had kept only for discussing the homework questions, because I will go slowly, not like yesterday. I was very quick in explaining yesterday because I had to finish the lesson. So this one I will slowly explain how to draw nets and how to write the names of these nets. So starting with this example where already it is done. So identify and draw a net for the solid figure. So first look at the base. Okay, so the base is a rectangle. So the first word is going to be rectangular, not rectangle, rectangular. Fine. The next one, see the faces. Means see the another word we were using. Remember what word were we using for um, the face? There's a proper word to use for the face, and that was called lateral face. Lateral face is what we can see, the face. Okay, so here the faces are not triangles. All of them are not triangles. So because if they are not triangles, it's not a pyramid. So if it's not a pyramid, it is a rectangular prism. Correct. Now how do we draw the net? Always start by drawing the base, the two bases, up and down. So that's how they started. So see, this is the base one. Little bit leave space and draw another rectangle. Okay, then as you can see, the faces, the front and the back, are little bit fatter or little bit broader than these two bases, right? The bases are thin, but the faces are a little bit more bigger. So you draw the faces on either sides, and the two sides you can draw on either attached to the base. Of course, for this, the base has to be attached to this, because you cannot draw a thin triangle here, because see, the sides are also thin. You cannot draw a thin triangle, two thin rectangles in this place, because if you're drawing here, it should be equal to these two faces. So either you can draw the thin rectangles here or even here, it's okay, no problem. Nets does not need to be the same for all. Nets can be different depending on your imagination. Okay, so let's move on to question number 2. Now as soon as we say this, we know that it is a cube. Why do we call it a cube? Because it has all square faces. Now if you ask me, teacher, can we write rectangular prism? Yes, you can say it as rectangular prism, but preferred is a cube, because the base is a square, the bases are two squares, and also the faces are squares. So if you have all six sides as squares, that's called as a cube. Okay, now first let's write the name for this figure. It's a cube, as usual. Okay, so that's going to be a cube, and let's draw the net. Now, first, always, how do you start? Start by drawing the base. So let me go back to the other program and then, okay. So the bases were two squares. So let's draw one of the base. Okay, and give some space. Now you know all are going to be squares, so we don't have to worry. Give equal, like you can draw, you can leave some space for equal size square because all the sides are equal. So draw another square. These are the two bases. Now make sure that you draw them like straight to each other and of the same size. Okay, I think that's fine. Yeah, they are the same size, so they should be like on same line. Fine. So these two are the bases. Now let's draw the faces. So the faces were also squares, right? So you can draw one face here and another face here. So let's draw the faces now. So this is going to be one face. Okay. And also you can draw another face here. So these are the two faces. So these are the two bases and these are the two faces. Now what about the sides? Sides are also squares. So you can draw the sides anywhere you want. You can draw it here and here, here, anywhere you want. So I wanted to draw it here. Let me draw it here for a change. But make sure that all the squares are equal. You cannot draw them one big and one small. Okay, because we are drawing nets, so we have to be very, very, very careful when we are drawing these. Only we adjust it. You girls can do it easily because you are using pencil and eraser, but as you know, okay, I know it looks a bit bigger, but the cursor got clicked. That's all. Okay, so let me draw another square also. Now these are the two sides. Okay, so this is how you can draw a net of a cube. Now, is this the only possibility you can draw a cube, the net of a cube? No. Let me show you another one how to draw. This is one. As I said, nets can be different. It doesn't need to be the same. So let me show you another way to draw a cube. Now, first draw the bases. So let's draw this one base here and another base up. Let me make sure that they both are of the same size. They are not of the same size. It needs to be a bit longer. Okay, so okay. Let me draw this square a bit down. So this is one square. Okay, and then keep the same amount of space and draw another square. Okay, so this is going to be the two bases. So you can draw them sides or you can draw them like up and down. It doesn't matter. Now, let me draw another, the two faces now. So I will draw one of the face here. Okay, one face here. Make sure that they are of the same, almost same size. Okay, one face here. And let me draw another face here, this way, up. So this is going to be another face. You girls can try drawing in paint also by using it for the nets. Fine. Now I have got the two sides. So what I'm going to do is the two sides, I will draw one square here and another onto this side. Now if you ask, is it wrong? Of course not. This is the net. It depends on your imagination. Or either you can draw one square here, one here. That's right too. You can draw one square here and one square here. It doesn't matter because anyhow when we fold up, we will get the cube. So that's the idea behind the nets. So you can draw four like this and then I can draw one more. These are the two sides I'm drawing, so I'll draw one side here and another side here. Okay, so this is also considered, this is also a net of a cube. So the ends of the nets are limitless. It really depends on how you are looking at the picture, not on how the teacher's is looking or how your friend is looking. So the nets can be different, but only you have to make sure that you have the bases correct, the faces correct, and also the sides correct. That's all. Other than that, they can be anywhere you want to. Okay, now let's move on to the next question. Uh, so the next question is question number 3. Now they have given you this. Now first, depending the name of the figure depends on the base. Now this is a square, right? It's not a rectangle, it's a square. So square. Next you have to decide, is it a pyramid or a prism? Look at all the lateral faces. This is a triangle, this is a triangle, this face is also a triangle, and this face is also a triangle. So all the lateral faces are triangle. Which figure has all lateral faces as triangles? Pyramids. So it's going to be a square pyramid. Okay, so this is how you name your figure. Now how are you going to draw the net? Always remember, start with the base. This has only one base, there is no other base. So the base is a square, and how many faces are there? There are 4 triangular faces. So keeping this in mind, let's draw the net. So draw the base first. So this is going to be the base. That's a square. And then how many triangles did we see? 4. So just join them to these sides of the square. That's all. Did I do? Okay, let me do. Just draw 1 triangle, 2 triangles. Okay, and then the 3rd triangle, and this is going to be the 4th one. Always after you draw, check if you have drawn it correct. Just imagine if you fold it. Now which are the folding lines? If you want to know your answer is correct or not, the folding lines are going to be, let me show you this. Let me erase this because I drew it too hard. This triangle thing is not coming here. Okay, one here and one here. Fine, finally. So which are going to be the folding lines for you? These are going to be the folding lines for you. So just imagine if you fold it along these lines here. Okay, these lines which are overlapping are going to be your folding lines. So if this line, if you fold this figure along these lines, is it going to be a square pyramid? Yes, it's going to be. You can try, because now you are, when you have free time and you have nothing to do, just you can take a paper, draw something, draw the net, and then fold, cut it around, and then fold it along these lines, and then check whether you're getting a square pyramid when you join all the 4 triangles together. So this is going to be the net for the square pyramid. Okay, let's move to question number 4. Now again, you have to write the name for this. So always remember, the name depends on the base. So this base is a rectangle. So we write it as a rectangular, not rectangle, it's rectangular. Fine. Now is it a prism or a pyramid? It's going to be a prism, right? Okay, how is it a prism? Because see, we have 2 triangles which are the sides, but the faces, the lateral faces, are rectangles. They are not all triangles. The rule is, if they are all triangles, they are pyramids, else it's a prism. So this is going to be a rectangular prism. So now to draw the net, of course we need to remember the base, the faces, and the sides. So the base is a rectangle, the sides are 2 rectangles too, and then sides are going to be, oh, that's not fine. The sides are going to be triangles. Okay, so let's draw it. Fine. So let's start with the base. Base was a rectangle. Fine. So this is a rectangle. Okay. Now let's draw the side. The faces. Faces were also two rectangles. So either you draw two rectangles beside it, or you draw above this triangle. Anywhere it's fine. So first let me show you by drawing it above, and then I will show you the next possibility for it. Okay. So this is going to be the second rectangle, and this is going to be the third rectangle, which is the face. So we've got one base, the base is a rectangle, and then two faces are also rectangles. Now what about the sides? Sides were two triangles. So you can draw the sides here. You can draw here and here, or here and here. Anywhere you want to, you can draw the sides. There is no rule at all. So I want to draw it here. Let me draw it here. One triangle, and again I made the same mistake. I just drew the line. Okay, so this is going to be your second triangle. So this is one of the possibilities for triangular prism. Now, can I place these triangles anywhere else? Yes, you can. You can even put them here. So one triangle there. Make sure that both triangles are equal, not like mine. Okay, try to draw the figure perfect as you can. So this is going to be also a net. Now, can we draw this net in another way? Yes, also you can draw the net in another way. How can you draw it? Let me show you. Now, rather than drawing the three rectangles like one on top of each other, now this is the base. Okay, now I'm going to draw the faces beside each other like that. So this is going to be one face. Okay, and this is going to be another face. Fine. Now, where am I going to draw the triangles? Yes, you can draw them here in these two sides, because that's how when you fold it, okay, or even you can have them here. Now, I know my rectangles are not of the same size, so that's why I'm not getting the net properly. See, even I cannot draw the the sides properly, but you do it with a pencil and do it perfectly, unlike me. Okay, so this also can be a net for your what is this, triangular prism. Okay, but the first one which we drew was much better because the triangles were not this broader as we have drawn in this, but that's fine too. You can try it out, cut and then find check how your rectangular prism, sorry, triangular prism is looking like. Fine. So let's move on to the next question. Where is the screen? Okay. Question number 5. Hobbies candies are sold in triangular pyramid shaped boxes. So they are triangular pyramid. You know how a triangular pyramid looks like. Triangular pyramid means the base is a triangle and the sides are all triangles. How many triangles are needed to make one box? So if the base is a triangle, okay, I'll show you. There is a picture here. We drew yesterday, right? Yes. See this one. Okay, this we named it as a triangular pyramid because the base is one triangle and the sides are three triangles. So how many triangles do we need to make a triangular pyramid? One base and three sides. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we will be needing 4 triangles. 4 triangles. Fine. Question number 6. Nina used plastic rectangles to make 6 rectangular prisms. How many rectangles did she use? Now, Nina used plastic rectangles to make 6 rectangular prisms. So, how many lateral faces does how many faces does a rectangular prism have? One rectangular prism. See, this is a rectangular prism. So, how many rectangles does it have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So to make one rectangular prism, we need 6 rectangles. So to make 6 rectangular prisms, how many rectangles will we need? Of course, you need to be multiplying 6 by 6, which is equal to 36 rectangles. Now these questions are easy only if you read them again and again. Okay, so they are asking for 6 rectangular prisms. To make one rectangular prism, we need 6 rectangles. So to make 6 rectangular prisms, we need 36 rectangles. Okay, the next page, question number 1 and 2. How many vertices does a square pyramid have? Vertices means the corners. The corners are called as vertices. Now, where is a square pyramid? This is a square pyramid. Okay, how many corners does it have? Corners means these points which meet. So how many are there? Let's count. It's 1 here, right? 1 corner. This is 2. This is 3, 4, and 5. So how many vertices does a square pyramid have? It has 5. How? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So 5 corners or 5 points where they meet. So 5 vertices. And did you know the plural of the singular of vertices is vertex? Okay. Why is it showing error? The spelling is right. Fine. So the singular is vertex and the plural is called as vertices. Number 2, each box of Fred's fudge is constructed from 2 triangles and 3 rectangles. Now, which shape is having 2 triangles and 3 rectangles? Any idea? It is 2 triangles. So that means you have to know that the bases are 2 triangles, right? And 3 rectangles. So 2 triangles and 3 rectangles, which one can have? Now, for this question, you can either write it as a triangular prism because the bases are triangles, okay? Else, even if you write it as I think the perfect answer for this is triangular prism as for this too. See here also I forgot to tell you that. Now this can be a rectangular prism because we just concentrated on the base which is a rectangle, right? But if you just turn it the other side and keep it standing on the triangles, it can also be called as a triangular prism. Okay, so either you name this as this or this. Now, I just wrote their rectangular prism because I didn't want to confuse you. I was continuously telling, look at the base. Okay. Now, if you make this stand on the triangle, that means that it will have 2 bases, which can also be called as a triangular prism. So the same here. It has 2 triangles and 3 rectangles. So it can also be called as a triangular prism because they clearly mentioned it has 2 triangles. So shape of each box is going to be triangular prism, or even if you write rectangular, it's fine, no problem. Okay, so that was the end of your lesson. Now this video I had only kept so that I can explain the lesson slowly. So hopefully there is no homework for you today. And I know it's not easy to do homework these days, but I will try my best to give less homework. Okay. So until we meet again in tomorrow's video, take care of yourselves and stay